is Jalen, and welcome to I Dare You to Play. This is my co-host.
Hi.
Welcome to Space Quest 5. Co-host, we gotta do it together. We gotta say it together. As a team. Come on, team effort.
Do you insist, sir?
Yes, I insist.
Okay.
It'll be fun, I promise.
Sure.
Alright. Welcome to Space Quest
Space
5.
Quest 5.
The next mutation. It's gonna be a good one, you guys. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be the best playthrough yet. I can feel it. I know it.
I'm sure you'll make a fantastic captain, sir.
I will. Best captain in the whole galaxy.
I'm sure you're right, sir.
I am.
Enjoy.
Hi, welcome to Space Quest 5.
Wow. Somebody's excited.
Oh, I dare you to play Space Quest 5. Yeah, there's a channel.
There's episode 0
Yeah.
of Space Quest 5. We're going to read the Galactic Inquirer. It's only $2, but we're giving it to you for free.
February 15th, 3009. I was just talking about how apparently this game has a canon year.
Did the other ones not have a date on the...
I don't think they did, or at least I didn't see one.
Okay. Inside, Gert Draxton's predictions for 3010. More bizarre mutants, plus pet pics. Yeah, you should probably close that door before the dogs decide to, make a lot of noise.
To ruin
We notice as the big chonky one goes running from the room. Dot, 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 dot.
Really, though, she does not know how to run properly. She doesn't run, she gallops.
Yeah.
Like a fucking horse.
Did you know the Galactic Inquirer has the largest circulation of any paper in the universe?
Well, I did now.
Probably because it's the only paper in the universe that uses paper.
Probably.
Can you believe there was a baby born with only one head?
Oh my god.
There's an Inquirer exclusive inside.
And with a mustache.
It's Ken Williams, I believe.
Oh.
the CEO of fucking Sierra.
Bruh.
Pretty sure that's his face. Redneck menace terrorizes family. They made us drink beer and wear baseball caps.
Planet terrorized by farmers
From
from
Earth.
Earth. I bet they were from fucking Indiana.
They were probably red baseball caps, too.
Ugh.
Ugh, yeah. Alien hoax. Designer's forbidden secret revealed.
Is that one of the two guys from Andromeda?
Yep, sure is. Elvis. He's coming to a town near you. Amazing photos inside. Where is Elvis, and have you seen him lately? Mother confesses, my baby is a one-headed mutant. It's enough to make a grown Borth Hork.
Okay.
Scientists on Borthia scratching themselves over an abnormal human baby born to a Borth couple. It's enough to make a grown Borth Hork. Says one technician who asked to remain anonymous. It's highly unusual for two Borth parents to conceive and deliver an earthling child. We don't like earthlings here. They have trouble calculating pi to 1,000th decimal place and chewing gum at the same time. But the baby's mother, Morgul Drulb, is taking a strong stance in defense of her infant. Even if it is human, I prefer not to think of it as an earthling. I prefer to think of it as a galactically challenged.
God.
I'm just going to refer to people from now on as the galactically challenged. Drulb has had to endure the cruel stares and callous remarks of neighbors and former friends just because it's human. Seems to be the license for some people to just be plain nasty, Delb complains. You wouldn't believe how many times... Oh, my God. Why is this thing on?
Rip.
Councilman, just because it's human seems to be licensed for people to be played nasty. You wouldn't believe how many times I hear otherwise well-meaning Borthians say, "How darling is it to grow up to be president?" Ha ha ha. Or Earthling want a Pop-Tart? Boris can be so mean and unthinking. It's funny because Jay's favorite fucking thing in the world is a Pop-Tart.
Listen.
I mean, it's an Earthling thing. I'm sorry. It's a galactically challenged thing.
I am galactically challenged.
The initial prognosis was grave for the unicranial tot. These unfortunate mutations, being completely human, having a greatly diminished capacity for intellect and reasoning by Borth standards, explained Dr. Regnad Keen, lead scientist and Soria Clinic for Borth defects.
Borth defects.
Nice. Now I get where they're going with the Borth now. Back before the Be Kind to Dumb Animals Act of 18453, when we found Earthlings in our part of the galaxy, we deep-sixed them in a chipper shredder. Now we're more tolerant. Hold on a minute.
He's wiping his eyes.
We used to deep-six them in a shredder. Now we're more tolerant. But we still don't invite them to our parties. Keene attributes the bizarre human mutant with its deeply discounted cerebral capacity to the fertility drug Ukrainium, which had been prescribed to Drelb when she had her husband Burfle identified a fertility problem. Just 2 weeks after starting her prescription, Morgul took, and her entire neighborhood joined in the festivities. It was a joyous day, Morgul recalls. Then we confirmed it with the Drano test. But as Morgul approaches her 16th trimester, there was suspicion that it might not be right with that all might not be right with the fetus. We went in for further tests, and lo and behold, we found out the baby's second head had failed to develop at all. The doctors then realized that by some bizarre coincidence, the fertility drug had scrambled the baby's gene patterns, resulting in a totally human baby. It was a 1,000,000-to-1 shot, and just our luck, we were the 1,000,000th customer. A shrieker is one who is particularly unsuited to his work. It's a solid point. Mother pleads, please stop calling my human baby a mutant. Plush Bruins on the rampage.
What?
Hundreds of vicious teddy bears ran amok and swarmed a troop of Imperial soldiers stationed on a small remote moon of Krondor. Officials say the swarm of aboriginal creatures ambushed the peaceful group of military engineers using primitive weapons such as spears and slings that proved incredibly effective despite the troopers' body armor. In a statement released to the press, an Empire spokesman said that 30 soldiers were killed and presumed eaten by the upholstered beast. Thank you. And another 60 were listed as wounded. Loss of equipment was estimated to be in the millions of buckazoids. It was just horrible, whimpered one soldier who witnessed the slaughter. I mean, we didn't have a chance. They just came out of nowhere. The Imperial troops, not admired for their marksmanship, were easily overcome, according to reports. They said Krondor, but they mean Endor. That's what the news coverage of that battle looks like. Lunatic litter bugs trash planets. It just fell right out of the sky. Citizens of the G6 quadrant were literally dumped on recently. Throughout the quadrant, mysterious ships have left tons of garbage in orbit around and on the surface of colonized planets, much to the dismay of the unsuspecting inhabitants. So far, these sludge bandits... I'm gonna pause right there as Jay gets a weird look on his face. Sludge bandits have evaded all StarCon efforts to disrupt their activities. Captain Quark, operational commander for the G6 Quadrant, insists StarCon is doing everything it should to address the problem. G6's ambassador to StarCon, Miss Beatrice Wankmeister,
Wait a minute.
disagrees, saying, from what I've heard, Quark should spend more time chasing sludge bandits and less time chasing skirts. Ambassador Wankmeister is scheduled to testify before StarCon Judiciary Subcommittee next week and promises to present evidence that will reveal the broad scope of illegal dumping occurring in the quadrant.
I feel like this is plot. I feel like that's the plot, probably.
What do you mean?
Part of the plot. It has literally the name of, like, his future wife in there.
Beatrice Wankmeister?
Yeah.
Also notice if you get rid of the rice, it's just Miss Beat Wankmeister. Anyway. Transporter bloopers. Zany transporter bloopers. Living proof that less is more. Perhaps the StarCon officer should be considered for promotion to Rear Admiral. Whenever they go, whatever they do, they're going to do it together. It's funny. She's got like 6 arms over there. Wow. Butt face.
I like how they actually fucking, like, make the costumes and, like, take pictures
Yes.
for this shit. Like, oh my god.
You could be a game designer for fun and profit. Asterisk.
Asterix.
Hold on, I gotta read the asterisk real quick. Not.
Not.
It's down
Really
in the bottom
kinda
right
felt
corner.
that.
He's like chained to the desk.
Oh my god.
Learn how to design on the fly, create games without bothersome design documents. Cope with burnout and design pattern baldness. Designer pattern baldness.
Wow.
Meet unrealistic deadlines, even if it kills you. So you have a great idea for a computer game, but you don't know what to do with it? Let us here at Scumsoft School of Game Design
God.
teach you how to turn your ideas into cash money. In no time, we'll have you spewing out computer games at a dizzying rate, while a portion of the revenue they generate goes to pay your tuition. No need to worry about the job market. We guarantee 100% job placement within our own company, Scumsoft. Just listen to what 2 of our most successful graduates have to say. The best years of our lives were spent at Scumsoft. 2 guys for Andromeda. So what are you waiting for? Call us today. Scumsoft Incorporated, School of Game Design, 1-800-555-SCUM.
Wow.
Yeah, of course, there's the credits for the Galactic Inquirer.
Nice.
Exclusive Inquirer expose. Spaced out Quest co-creator comes out of closet. I'm not an alien. I'm a human being, cries one phony from Andromeda. Oh, the shame. They were regaled as the golden boys of the entertainment software industry, having authored 4 of the best-selling adventure games in the universe. The 2 guys from Andromeda, the wacky, zany design team of Mark Crow and Scott Murphy, rocketed into the scene 6 years ago with the first Space Quest adventure, introducing us to the wildly imaginative adventures of Roger Wilco. The phenomenally successful Space Quest series thrust the 2 guys into the galactic spotlight and on software superstardom. Millions of adoring fans throughout the galaxy shelled out bazillions of buckazoids to wrap their tentacles around each new offering. But one of these 2 bright stars of the software universe flickered and faded this week as the Inquirer aimed the harsh light of truth on Mark Crow's deepest, darkest secret. He is, in fact, a Homo sapien. Far from being the witty extraterrestrial, far off Andromeda, Crow is a mere human, a craven carbon-based charlatan from the cesspool of the universe, Earth. Our intrepid and extremely rude photographer snapped these revealing photos of the artificial alien as his private makeup artist was about to apply the trademark fame, red mohawk and pig snout, in preparation for a 2 guys appearance at a children's birthday party. Needless to say, the kids were devastated when the 2 guys didn't show. Crow was reluctant to speak to the Inquirer until this reporter badgered and prodded him into submission. I'm not an alien. I'm a human being, he blubbered, head in hands as he babbled on. I just want to make everyone happy. He then fell completely apart in a pathetic display of forced tears. What a whiner. After their last triumph, Space Quest 4, the two game designers went on brief hiatus, making only occasional personal appearances, reportedly to supplement their meager game designer incomes. They were in demand at supermarket grand openings and preschool birthday parties before they began their current work on separate projects. With the revelation of Crow's earthly origins, several questions remain. What is the future of the two guys? What is the future of Space Quest series? Will there be a Space Quest 5? Can millions of Space Quest fans throughout the universe forgive this deception and accept one phony from Andromeda? Does anybody actually read this trash? And that's the big quote. Does anybody actually read this trash? Know the future. Money, love, career, health, more money. Astrological forecasters dream interpretations, tarot readings, tea leaves, palms, past lives, future lives, 9 lives, bumps, bones, runes, fortune cookies, you name it, I'll read it. So call now. You know you want to. I know you want to. I know you want to. Let's face it, I know everything. Dial 1-900-MISS-STICK. $500 is always per minute. Must be at least 18 years or older and willing to believe anything. Whatever happened to Roger Wilco?
Oh my God.
I'm going to take a drink of coffee before we start this one and just enjoy that photo there.
I do enjoy that photo.
Whatever Happened To is a weekly feature highlighting celebrities and other newsworthy individuals who have dropped out of the limelight, has-beens who have faded into obscurity, former stars who have crawled into the dark corners of the galaxy with the desire to be left alone, start a new life away from prying cameras of the paparazzi. This feature is dedicated to all those who wish to leave their miserable past behind them forever, living in fear of the day some skanky reporter roots them out, dredges up all their forgotten pain and misery, and holds it up for the universe to see. Roger who, you ask? Roger Wilco. His name may not be a household word anymore, but it wasn't that long ago that a mild-mannered janitor stationed on the research vessel Arcata,
Yeah, we know how to pronounce it now.
saved our bacon from being burnt to a crisp. You remember the trusty broom jockey who foiled those unpleasant Sarians in their plot to turn the StarCon star generator against our little system as a weapon of destruction. How soon we forget. By saving Xenon and its surrounding planets, Wilco had won the hearts of an entire star system. To show their gratitude, he was accorded the coveted Golden Mop Award for cleaning up the galaxy, making it safe once again for all life forms. He was even granted the title Custodian of Xenon. Yep.
For a day.
For a day, right? His day in the artificially generated sun seemed as though it would never end. He was an instant celebrity. Soon Roger found himself making a talk show circuit, appearing as a guest on such programs as David Letterdroid, Oprah Wingnut.
Oh my God.
Then came the endorsements. You couldn't pick a toilet brush or scum scraper without seeing Roger's face on it. Indeed, Roger Wilco, janitor to the stars, had arrived. Next stop, Hollywood. That is actually what it says. Okay.
Yep, that's what it says.
Roger was soon offered a contract to write and direct a movie based on his experience with the Sarians. It looked as though everyone's favorite sanitation engineer had wrung his last mop. Or so it seemed. It was during the filming of what was to be Wilco's first feature film, The Sarian Encounter, that things began to go terribly wrong. There was always problems with the set. Darth Lummox, the hulking tree-stumped necked actor who was to play Wilco, was always at odds with Roger over the script. Then one day, the special effects team, having accidentally destroyed the Orat monster suit, tried to cover themselves by secretly submitting a real snarling Orat. This led to disaster as the large beast, taunted by Darth in a fight scene. Wait, what was the guy's name? Darth Lummox? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Darth in a fight scene raged out of control, ravaging the set and tearing the actor to shreds. Darth was hospitalized. Luckily, they were able to find all the pieces. Not so lucky, millions of dollars in models and sets were lost. The studio scrapped the production and tore up Roger's contract. So that's what happened to the movie.
Ah.
Needless to say, Roger became disenchanted with Hollywood. It still just sounds like hemorrhoid when I say it. And as Time passed. He began to fade as so many stars do, making only the occasional talk show appearance. He found himself longing for the pine-clean scent of a janitorial supply closet and the feel of a lacquered hickory mop handle in his hands. He was heartsick for sanitation, his one sure talent. He's actually really bad at it, though. Roger returned.
Have we actually seen him clean once?
He lost like his fourth mop at the beginning of Space Quest 2.
He's actually good at it when he doesn't lose all the
At
materials.
Space Quest 2, he just loses the mop.
It's a broom, first of all.
Man, also, how many times did you die trying to empty the trash?
Like, only twice.
Uh-huh. Anyway. Roger returned to his first love by attaining a commission aboard the Xenon spaceport. Where as a janitor, he was able to find inner peace through his work. But once again, fate reared its ugly head. 1 year into his new job, Roger is abducted by unknowns while cleaning the interior of a transport. He is never heard from again. Though there have been rumored sightings during the last few years, Roger Wilco's disappearance is, to this day, a mystery. This reporter wanted to find out what happened, so I began asking questions. What I found is that, for the most part, nobody really cares what happened to him. But hey, my editor says I have to fill a whole page with this swill, so... There are all sorts of rumors and much speculation as to what became of our fallen hero janitor. Some say he's responsible for charting the first safe route through the Mondorian black hole, though thought to be a toilet bowl of the universe, flushing galactic sewage into that cesspool known as the Milky Way galaxy. Others claim they've seen him in bars on backwoods spinning yarns of his adventures to anyone who'd listen. Perhaps we'll never really know what became of that dauntless mop jockey, Roger Wilco. But this reporter believes he's out there somewhere, waiting for his next adventure. Common sense is one of the most uncommon things in the universe.
Wow. But it doesn't fucking say what happened to Greg.
Oh my god, I forgot that was on. Why is that on?
Your phone.
I know, I don't... This thing, I'm not used to it. I got a new phone, guys.
You just got a new phone.
And I keep forgetting to put it on fucking vibrate, and it's just, it's like super slippery, so I don't like it's like holding on to a fucking raw fish. Whoa, there it goes! Like, I can't wait for my fucking, fucking case to get here.
The phone case.
Yeah, I'm on my first cup of coffee, kids. They used to call me Hubba the Gut until I lost 500 pounds on Cellulite reducing plan.
God.
Oh my god, that is actually like they just renamed it, and that is like the
exact
fucking thing of what is it?
I know what it is.
It's the chocolate shake thing. I don't remember what it's called. 21 day supply, only $9.95 buckazoids. It's so easy, just one revolting shake for breakfast, and then one for lunch, and I'm not hungry till about 2 o'clock. Then I have a sensible mid-afternoon snack, a nice big hoagie with lots of mayo and cheese for dinner. I swing my gluttons for their all-you-can-eat McRib Fest. I'm sorry, Rib Fest. Yeah, well, let's not copyright. Cellulite, patented formula costs you digestive tract with space-age polymers, which prevent absorption of unwanted calories. So you can eat till you're sick and still take off the unwanted weight. Gets the flab off fast.
Wow.
Okay, then. Really worked for him. Elvis Watch! Monolith Burger. It's been a busy week for Elvis watchers. Seems the king of rock and roll has been popping up all over the galaxy lately in some very peculiar places. The latest incident of Elvis
terrestrial.
Elvis terrestrial activity. Wow, that is Elvis terrestrial activity.
What the fuck?
Catches the king gyrating behind the counter at Monolith Burger restaurant. Though he was convincing, it didn't take long for our crack reporters to catch on that this was yet another imposter. Turns out it was a gimmick to help promote Monolith's new banana sandwich combo. Nice try, guys.
What? So Elvis is like some mythical creature that people are looking for now? Is that what this is?
So hold on.
I don't understand this joke.
All right. So
why?
For a long There was even X-Files references to Elvis, right?
Oh my god.
Do you remember the original Ghostbusters when they're like, "How is Elvis and have you seen him lately?" So when they're doing interviews, right? So after Elvis died, there's to this day a conspiracy theory that Elvis still is alive. He faked his death. And he was even in fucking Men in Black. Elvis didn't die, he just went home. So Elvis, there's always been this thing of like Elvis sightings. Like it's bigger than Bigfoot. Like people would be like, no, the real Elvis is actually living over here. So like, it's like a whole thing that Elvis is still out there somewhere. We just, as a society, apparently just wasn't ready to let him go, and we got stuck in bargaining for a while. Or denial, I should say, not bargaining. So yeah, that's why Elvis is.
All right then.
The whole galaxy, the whole universe, is still looking for Elvis, and he's being sighted all over the place. That was a real thing.
All right.
You
Then.
just Google Elvis sightings. Former sci-fi hunk dumps wife for maid. Close family friend says, "Bad Rorg, bad Rorg." Once seen as the father of the galaxy's favorite space family, the Jettisons, because copyright.
Yeah.
George Nebula is now seen keeping company with steamy actress model Stephanie Android. Who played the Jettisons' maid. The torrid affair has rocked the showbiz world and has Nebula's wife vowing revenge. "I've given that pencil-necked little geek the best years of my life," says Mrs. Nebula, who promises George's little fling will cost him half his fortune. Friends say that this is just the latest in a long line of gal pals to turn George's head. And I love how, like, the silhouettes are perfect.
Yeah.
Fucking Jetsons, right? He ran off with the fucking... Anyway. Rosie. Be all that you're not. Join the Starfleet and see the universe. StarCon. If you hunger for adventure, excitement, and are gullible enough to believe recruiting slogans, then StarCon Academy is the place for you. See your recruiter, call 1-800-StarCon.
Cool.
Look at all those badges. All right. Scandal rocks Star Confederacy. All right, let's read about Captain Quark here. Letty Vales, a real good friend of an anonymous source, reported to be pretty darn close to the former Secretary of Galactic Defense's niece, related a shocking story in this exclusive Inquirer interview. Hello, Mr. Vales. I'm getting... You want to read one, and I'll read one?
Okay.
All right, hold on. Let me, see if I can make this easier for you.
Yeah, that would be a little bit easier, yes.
All right, which one do you want to read? Do you want to read,
I don't
Letty
know.
Vales or Galactic Defense niece something?
What?
What the actual fuckity fuck?
Printer said I'm a head out. Or I'm a head in, I guess.
All right, do you want the G or the V?
I'll do the V, I guess.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Vales.
I'm getting paid cash for this interview, right?
Yes, that was the arrangement.
Good. Now, as I was telling you guys earlier, I heard this story from my buddy who kind of dates the niece of Secretary of Defense Doug Lloyd Lockjaw.
Then this story comes from a highly placed and unimpeachable source. Please continue.
Well, apparently, there has been a tremendous amount of partying and a lot of hanky-panky so-called diplomatic functions. This has caused several embarrassing incidents that the StarCon Command is taking great pains to cover up.
Can you give me an example?
One particular incident of note was the recent destruction of the planet Aleppo's largest moon.
Now that's even funnier in
Now
today.
that's...
So some of you might recall in the 2016 presidential election,
Yeah.
our Libertarian candidate Gary Johnson was asked about Aleppo, and he responded, "What is Aleppo?" Which got a bunch of headlines. Of course, if you watch the whole thing...
If you watch the whole video, he actually has a great response.
Yeah, well, and they were talking about the medical device tax when they asked him, what would you do about Aleppo?
Yeah.
And then, of course, nobody in the United States really knew what the fuck Aleppo was until that flub, and then literally 10 million people Googled what Aleppo was.
Right.
So, you gotta put in context, this was 30 years before that incident.
Yep.
I mean, Aleppo's just been on fire that long. Anyway, back to the interview.
Yeah.
I heard it was some kind of natural disaster.
It was a disaster, all right, but there's nothing natural about it.
What happened?
There was a big, what the fuck, ballyhoo with a bunch of the StarCon brass and a lot of diplomatic types for Captain Rames T. Quark's engagement to the stepdaughter of the Vice President's former wife's sister. What?
Scandal touches the highest levels of Star Confederacy!
Whatever. Anyhow, there was this plutonic
Plutonic general?
Plutonic general. I can English.
What's funny is plutonic means
Plutonic.
no relationship, right? It's totally plutonic.
Plutonic.
Yeah. Anyway, you mean he was celibate?
No, I mean he was from Pluton.
See?
Yeah. Anyway, Quark gave this General Hashimoto a little bit too much Antarian fizz water. You see, Quark was trying to pick up on Hashimoto's date at his own engagement party.
Nice. I see. A diplomatic intrigue with interplanetary implications. But what does this have to do with the destruction of Aleppo's moon?
You know how Plutons get even if they catch a whiff of carbon dioxide?
I'm afraid I don't.
Well, paranoidal scarfomania is an ugly word, but...
Actually, it's 2 words.
Stop interrupting.
Sorry.
Anyhow, General Hashimoto wants to go a little haywire from the effects of too much CO2 and begin smashing up the presidential palace.
Plutonic general gets gassed, runs amok.
Right. Anyhow, Quark took the opportunity to ditch his fiancée and leave the party with the guy's date.
But what about the moon?
I'm getting to it. So Hashimoto smashes up the place and runs outside. He looks up in the sky, and what do you think he sees?
An aircraft?
No! The planet's moon, you twit! Anyway, Hashimoto totally freaks out at the sight of it, and he runs down a major street buck naked, screaming bloody murder.
Jilted general goes on killing spree.
What are you babbling about? Screaming bloody murder is just an expression.
Sorry, I get a little carried away. Please continue.
Now get this. Hashimoto thinks Aleppo's moon is following him.
What a creative imagination he must have.
So he calls up the planetary defense batteries and orders the entire night side of the planet to open fire on the moon with everything they have. It was blasted to atoms in a matter of minutes.
Didn't the men in the batteries think that was a strange order from a foreign general?
Well, in the Aleppian defense forces, most of the soldiers are lobotomized as a security precaution. If they can't think of anything, they can't spell any secrets, or so the reasoning goes. Besides, all they have to do is aim and shoot.
What about the citizens of the planet?
Needless to say, they were taken aback. Over the years, they had become very attached to their moon and were quite sentimental about it. No more moonlight walks, moonlight sonatas, moonbeams. All they have left is mooning.
A human tragedy. Well, thank you for your time, Mr. Vales.
My pleasure. Now where can I pick up my dough?
A buckazoid saved is a buckazoid earned. Oh, look, it's a Farstar comic.
Cool. I don't know what that means yet.
Anyway, we'll scroll back up to this picture too. I've done nothing wrong, reams Quark.
Is it Reams or Rames? I don't know how that is even supposed to be pronounced.
So it'd be Rames.
Rames.
Because James T. Kirk.
Oh.
So it's Rames T. Quark. Nah.
His face is very,
New trend sweeps galaxy. Orbital bungee jumping. Thrill seekers everywhere are turning to this latest incarnation of what has to be the wackiest sport in the history of the known universe. The participant leaps from the airlock of their orbiting ship into the gravitational pull of the planet below. Hang on, the real challenge is not to lose your lunch as you tumble head over heels faster and faster towards the world below, hoping your umbilical bungee recoils you before you burst into flames in the planet's atmosphere. Such fun! Family lost in space, each crew member to survive. Years after journeying into space to settle a distant planet, the long-lost crew of Jupiter 2 returned home.
Jupiter 2.
Yeah, that was actually the name of the ship in Lost in Space, the TV show.
Oh.
Returned home with a sordid story of isolation and cannibalism in the coldest reaches of the Alpha Centauri system. Professor Robinson, the mission commander, recalled, "After being lost out there for years, we finally managed to get back on a course for home. We were on the last leg of our journey when we noticed our food stores had been jettisoned. All fingers pointed to the ship's doctor, Zachary Smith, according to Robinson." He was like the evil fucking snidely guy on the show. Pilot Don West said, "We knew it had to be Smith. He'd been screwing things up for us ever since we left Earth. He was always tampering with the rockets, stealing ships, making deals with evil aliens, and generally being a pain in the... Well, this was the last straw. We were all starving, so we ate him." The youngest member of the crew, Will Robinson, had grown fond of the Doctor, through the years. "Don's right. Dr. Smith was a scheming, two-faced jellyfish of a man, but he really wasn't all bad. I'm going to miss him." Will's father tried to console the lad. "You're right, Will. I guess he wasn't all bad. In fact, most of him was tasted pretty good. Kind of like chicken." Shocking proof that ancient astronauts visited cavemen. Cave painting, not entirely unlike this one, proves cavemen really did exist. Yeah, okay. It's the guy from Flintstones. I forget his name, right? I'm still on my first cup of coffee, kids. Archaeologists recently discovered evidence that proves once and for all that our ancient ancestors had dealings with primitive ape-like people. Experts say these people lived in crude stone houses, dressed in animal skins, used tools made of stone and bone, and possessed foot-propelled vehicles for transportation. The exact location of this incredible discovery is being kept secret, but inside sources report that a friend of one of the assistants to a researcher that knows one of the researchers on the excavation claims the planet is somewhere in the Milky Way and is known as bedrock. Spelled differently. It is to its simian-like inhabitants. Experts speculate that our ancestors visiting this barbaric culture were space-going philanthropists who visited the locale several times in vain attempts to advance their culture. Officials say these people had a surprisingly advanced social structure that included families, friends, group social activities, and take-out ribs.
What is this ad? Genetics, we play God so you don't have to.
Yeah, genetics, we play God so you don't have to. At genetics, we don't make the virus, we make it more virulent. We don't make the mold. That is what it says, right?
Yeah.
We don't make the mold, we make it moldier. At genetics, we don't make a lot of organisms you buy. We make
a lot of the
organisms you buy better. Genetics, genetically engineered products you can count on.
What? Brain teaser?
It's an actual maze.
Is this a maze?
Yeah. Never before revealed industrial secrets of how computer games are made.
Wow.
Look at how. Following up such monster hits as Pirates of Pestilon and the Time Rippers, the Next Mutation team faced a daunting task in creating the next installment of the legendary Space Quest saga. What do you do with a janitor who has been everywhere and done everything? Fortunately for fans everywhere, these hardworking Space Quest creative geniuses have again proved that they are up to the task. Here's GI's exclusive behind-the-scenes look on the set of Space Quest V.
Cool.
To make a great game, you must first have a great design. For Space Quest V, the creative team spent arduous weeks racking their brains to come up with original plot ideas for the Next Mutation.
I assume that's what the game is called.
Yep.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was Star Trek: The Next Generation, right? So the Star Trek compendium, right? They're just reading Star Trek.
Yeah. All right.
Here, the art director puts the final touches on the many miniatures used during the filming of The Next Mutation.
Bro.
Sorry, that's just awesome. In any project of such sweeping breadth and scope, there are bound to be a few lapses in communication. The art director had no idea what would happen when he told his artist, "Do the backgrounds on your computer."
All right.
Yep, there you go. Inquirer photo exclusive. Behind the scenes look on the set of Space Quest 5.
Bro, what is happening to that guy?
State-of-the-art techniques were used to digitize live actors and bring them to the small screen in dazzling 256 color VGA. They're scanning them in, see? No expense was spared to bring to life the ultimate Space Quest adventure.
Oh my god.
Here, the actor playing Roger is prepared for the spectacular Janitor's Inferno sequence. A staff of highly skilled artists and technicians sweated over every detail in the next mutation's many sets to make sure each one was just right.
That's cool. They're like in the little...
Yeah, they're like in there, yeah. Here, the programming team offers some constructive feedback to the project director on a few proposed design changes.
Constructive feedback.
Constructive feedback. Planet invaded by farmers from Earth.
Oh my god.
They made us drink beer, wear baseball caps, sweeps Nemorian victim. Nimrodian victim. A family of Nimrodians were held hostage for a night of horror by a gang of beer-guzzling Earth farmers. Malox, which is Malox, right? You drink it for intestinal problems. Yeah.
Nimnol.
Malox Nimnol, mother of the captive brood, said, "We were afraid they were going to take us back to their planet and feed us something they called oleo and potato chips." I don't know what the oleo is.
Oleo and potato chip sandwiches.
Alright.
I don't know what oleo is.
I don't either.
What's oleo?
It's like a fish, I think, or something. I don't know.
Oh.
Anyway, we escaped just in time. Just in the nick of time. The ordeal began after nightfall in the little Nimrodian town of Flemberg. Malox and her husband, Ko Pectate. Sorry, Malox and Ko Pectate were two brand name like intestinal things. Like you take your Malox, honey, you know, your stomach will feel better. And Ko Pectate was a competitor. So anyway, Malox and her husband, Ko Pectate, had put the little Nimnals to bed and were settling down with their implants for the night of dermovision. Suddenly the sky lit up and we ran to the window, recalls Ko. There was this big rickety ship landing in our front yard with an old woman in a rocking chair sitting on top. Then 4 men with overalls and thick red necks came out and started walking around the house. They peeked in the windows and I heard one of them utter some sort of mating call like, "Hey, Vern! Hey, Vern!" And they walked to the door as soon as they saw us. These large holes opened up in their faces, and they bent down and gave us some kind of offering. They started prodding us with enormous 3-pronged forks, yelling at us to get, reveals Malox. We took that to mean they wanted us to stand in small groups and shuffle towards the front door. They chattered excitedly among themselves for quite some time, apparently speculating as to what their ruler's reaction would be to our capture. Ma's not gonna cotton to us to having them ugly suckers in the house, they said. And you think Ma's gonna feed them things? During their discussions, they would make long choking sounds and then deposit small offerings on the floor. Puking. Eventually, we understood enough of their conversation to determine what had been going on. Apparently, these were Earth farmers collected over the years by emissaries from outer space. They had finally banded together and appropriated one of the alien craft, tossing the aliens into the airlock and renaming the ship the USS Po White Trash. We figured they were displeased with us, so we gathered up all our offerings and attempted to return them. At that time, they decided not to take us back to Earth, but not before putting a good fright into the children, who now wake up every night with horrible dreams. At first, we couldn't get anybody to believe us, but when we showed them the strange 5-toed footprints, actually one of them had 6 toes, they realized we were telling the truth. So instead of aliens, these are people who've been abducted by aliens, who banded together, all the rednecks abducted by aliens, banded together, stole a spaceship, and then attempted to abduct some aliens.
Alright then.
Y'all just don't even know. Ma ain't gonna feed these ugly things. Be the first on your planet to own live adorable space monkeys. Play God, create life in a bowl. Just add water, that's all it takes. In seconds, your cute, cuddly space monkeys will hatch and come to life right before your eyes. Within seconds, you'll be on your way to hours of fun and bogus superiority as you and your friends dominate the lower life form. Space monkeys will feel your need to lord over others while being laughter and smiles into your otherwise pathetic, lonely, insignificant life. So desperate to live that you can even train them. You'll laugh maniacally at the antics of these little monsters as they play and frolic. You'll howl with what is that?
Insensitive abandon.
I thought that's what that said. Insensitive abandon as they perform stunts. You'll never tire of watching them, knowing you hold their tiny destinies in your hands. Raising space monkeys is so easy, any idiot can do it. Feeding is never a problem because they eat each other. Anyone who loves pets will adore these little guys. Would-be megalomaniacs will treasure them as a great substitute for world domination. Best of all, we'll show you how to teach them to obey your every command while avoiding embarrassing questions about the Prime Directive. Just remember not to feed them after midnight and keep them away from alcohol.
Okay.
Free, a 1-year supply of super growth steroids for bigger, healthier space monkeys. Tiny little collars with tiny little name tags. A catalog of our other fine products, including Space Ape, Space Marsupials, and Space Aardvarks. An incredible, lusty rendition of Spare No Expense manual discussing the care, raising, training, and breeding of space monkeys. Bonus includes 34 great recipes. Our famous, unconditional, you bought it, you own it guarantee in writing. Holy hyperspace, it sounds too good to be true. Please rush my Space Monkeys kits right away with all the neat free things. I realize I must be completely satisfied because once you have my money or reasonable facsimile, I'm stuck with the little buggers. Send so many kits, cash, check, charge, barter, IOU. Please no COD, checks, charge, barter, or IOUs. Please include 32,500 buckazoids for postage and handling. Space Station Alfalfa. Ramco nose hair trimmer. That thing looks frightening, doesn't it?
What is that?
As seen on Tri-D.
Oh my god.
Don't pluck nose hairs. You could cause fatal infection.
That looks like it could cause a fatal infection.
Don't endanger your olfactory orifice with harsh, crude tweezers or pliers. You don't know where they've been. The Ramco nose hair trimmer edger is the safe and somewhat painless way to rid your nostril cavities of unsightly growth. In no time at all, the patented yank and slash system will have you breathing easy again. Just beam cash, check, or buckazoid order along with form to Ramco Corp. 327 Ouch Way. Yow, Andromeda.
That's literally, hang on, look. It's like a recorder. It's like they carved a recorder and then put like
Razor blades on it?
Razor blades on it.
Yeah. Please,
What the fuck?
please rush my Ramco nose hair trimmer edger. I didn't learn my lesson last time when I ordered your piece of hunk home cataract removal kit, and I can't wait to throw more money down the toilet. I even closed X dollars. And don't expect to receive my merchandise for at least 6 to 8 weeks, by which time my nose hairs will be dragging on the floor. Retro's computer game review. Yo, again, Space Jockeys. This is Retro here with some cool tips on one of the hottest games in the universe, Space Quest V. The bum out is these tips were written in nerdese, so I've taken the liberty of rejobbing them in plain English.
I just read this, that it has spoilers.
Yep.
The bold print below that says that there's spoilers.
Yep. This is the beginning of the game walkthrough kind of thing. Yep. We'll get past that.
Okay.
Grr! Gur Draxon, Supreme Overlord of the Arcturian Empire, conqueror of Pleiades, and noted psychic astrologer, Dur's picks for the coming year. I see a major shakeup coming from Star Confederation in the next year or so. A huge scandal involving top officials and some kind of major illegal activity. They further predict they'll cover it up by blaming misconduct on a scapegoat, possibly a janitor. Strike Commando will ship in the latter half of the millennia. A horde of mutant space monsters will sweep through the Confederation, destroying everything in their path. Infamous Gothic colonist Johnny Magpie will be mistaken for a space mutant and shot 250 times in the head by the sequel police.
Alright, then.
Software industry mega giant Sierra Cosmos Online will finalize acquisitions of IBM, Microsoft, and Garden Weasel. Microsoft, sorry.
Yeah, you gotta...
Millions of Space Quest fans will be baffled by the butt-headed copy protection scheme concealed within Gerdraxon's petition. Gerdraxon's predictions.
Alright then.
So...
Your universal horoscope.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So, you see the Thraxis number, blah, blah, blah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was your copyright protection, was the planets.
Okay.
Your universal horoscope by Gerdraxon. Aquarius. Mars' influence gives you a leg up on your enemies. Move quickly to crush all opposition in your path. Watch out for sycophants. They may distract you from your purpose. Pisces. Don't quarrel openly with a competitor. He may be plotting against you. Move stealthily and bide your time. A single dagger in the dark can be more effective than a whole army's in daylight. Aries. Lucky you, the signs favor romance. But beware the parents of that special someone. They may resent your influence over their baby. Kill them if they become too meddlesome. Taurus. Seek a temporary truce with a powerful rival. This will give you valuable breathing space and time to rest and replenish. Afterwards, attack them suddenly and without warning. Gemini, you receive welcome news, possibly politically compromising information about an enemy. Sell it to the highest bidder and let them do your dirty work for you. Avoid open spaces and crowds. Cancer, get your shopping done early. Now is the time to stock up on supplies for an upcoming campaign. Teamwork can lead to spectacular gains on the home front. Leo, don't be discouraged by temporary setbacks. Lay siege and be persistent. You'll break your enemy's spirit in the end. Watch out for flanking maneuvers. Virgo, don't tolerate breaches of discipline. Harsh punishment of a subordinate now will prevent problems in the future. Visualizing the painful death of a foe brings satisfaction and may help it come to pass. Did we already do yours? We already did yours, right?
Yeah.
You were,
I'm Cancer.
Cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Libra, consolidate recent gains and prepare for counteroffensive. Roll with the punches, but be ready to take initiative. An oversight by your foe could be his downfall. Poison gas may be the answer to a nagging problem. Scorpio, now it's time for that house cleaning you've been putting off. Root out spies and traitors. Destroy anyone you have doubts about. Better safe than sorry. Don't worry if outsiders call you brutal. Positive results will speak for themselves. Sagittarius, an unorthodox approach may bring you quick victory. Attack a strong enemy when you least expect it. Avoid getting bogged down in lengthy commitments you can't keep. If an old ally presses you for support against a new foe, let him wither on the vine and seek friends elsewhere. Capricorn, that's me.
Yep.
Now is the time for a change of plan. Negotiations may be the key to success as long as you don't take the terms of a treaty literally. Threats and ultimatums work in your favor. Don't be afraid of stomping on people's toes. Deadly pluck kills Andromedan. A local citizen died yesterday from complications traced to a plucked nose hair. Booger Eater. Sometimes I don't get them until I say them out loud. Booger Eater, aged 46.984 millennia, was pronounced dead on arrival at the
What the
Slice 'em Up Discount Surgical Mall.
Oh my god. Surgical mall? What the fuck?
Slice 'em up. See, slice 'em up.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got
I've
that.
seen facial blemishes that could lay a guy low for weeks, but never anything like this, exclaimed medical examiner.
Digging guts out.
Yeah. Yep, that's what it says. Digging guts out. This guy had a Tucasoid in his nose the size of an Arcturian Jabba. Okay. E-Terror is the latest victim of a wave of nasal infections that are reaching epidemic proportions throughout the Andromeda. And happens every year during the hay fever season. Explain. Guts out?
Yeah.
A couple of sneezes, a little itch, and they just can't keep those mandibles away from their snot shoots. Our public awareness campaign, Pluck at Your Own Risk, has helped, but a lot of Andromedans are still tempting fate. Pick it, don't pluck it. That's our motto. Dynamix. The revolutionary new high-energy formula lets you put muscle faster than testosterone sumo wrestler. Put on muscle faster than a testosterone sumo wrestler. From Genetics, the company that makes miraculous marvels from mundane, if somewhat questionable matter, comes Dynamix, the result of years of development and a week of testing. a weekend of testing. Dynamix is the ultimate bodybuilding secret. With Dynamix, you can have huge, bulging, powerful muscles in just 2 days. Increase your strength. Feel great, look great. Lift things, big things. Open jars, impress your friends. If they're not impressed, beat them into greasy, quivering pulps. Make new friends. Beat them up too. Hire people to scratch your back. Terrorize little skinny guys on the beach. Send us your money now. Because we'll use Dynamix too. And we'll find you. Alright. Can you draw Drippy? If you can, then you may well be on your way to a rewarding career as a computer game illustrator. Here at the Pixel Pushers Institute of Art, we train hundreds of people just like you to go out and attempt to eke out a living creating art and animation for leading computer entertainment software publishers. To see if you have what it takes, just draw Drippy on a 3x5 card and mail to Pixel Pushers Art Institute. They actually used to have these things in the paper all the time.
Really?
Yeah, like you could go get into this art institute if you could draw this thing, right?
Wow.
So I currently dare Jay to draw Drippy.
Alright then.
Because he's a good drawer.
Drawer.
Mm-hmm. It's still going. Researchers for CyberClark Technologies finally lifted the veil of secrecy on their current project, the DIC-20. At the latest news conference earlier this week, designed to last 50% longer than the current replicant models, this prototype android has far exceeded the expectations of its creators. For nearly 67 years, the DIC-20 has performed flawlessly under extreme conditions in the most unusual of proving grounds, 20th century Earth. CyberClark spokesperson Link Tinkerton explained, "We really wanted to put this android through its paces, push it to the limit. We knew this was going to take a lot of time that we didn't have. If this baby was going to beat our competitors to market, the solution was to send the DIC-20 back in time and let it run itself down. Then zap it back. Our time-space continuum division was just coming online, so if it went back to the 20th century. So off it went back to the 20th century. We asked why they chose Earth. Tinkerton noted that 20th century Earth's atmosphere had the right corrosive properties to put DIC-20 synthesizer outer skin to the test. The cultural climate of an extinct settlement known as Hollywood also proved to be the perfect for testing how much abuse the android could take. It's holding up remarkably well despite repeating exposure to loud music, prize-winning television commercials, bloopers, and practical jokes," said Tinkerton. So you may not actually get this joke because Dick Clark did the fucking top 40 every week, and he did every New Year's Eve for decades. And there was an ongoing joke that he never fucking got older. He did finally die, but we didn't think he was going to. He was still doing the fucking top 40 when he was 80 some years old or whatever, right? And he still sounded great, right? It was just that he still looked exactly fucking like that. So the joke being, he was an android. They sent him back in time. Wonder wigs. Pretend to be someone more interesting. It's as easy as putting on a hat. Looks like your real hair, and probably better, or you wouldn't be wearing it. Made of polyacrylic fiber, it won't stretch, lose its shape, or melt into your head. It's flame resistant too. Dozens of models available, including the Andromedan, the Princess, Aldo, Two Guys, Shatner, and Sprock.
Shatner 3000.
Yeah. The free 30-day trial. Just circle the hair you want and we'll rush it to you. Spend 14.95 buckazoids per wig to egocentric fashions. Alright. Sleep through college. Earn your diploma while you sleep. This is funny because Jay's about to go to college.
I know.
Earn your diploma with sleep with the Cryogenic Correspondence School's dream path to higher education. Do you realize that the time you now spend in cryogenic sleep during hyperspace travel is lost forever? You could be spending that time learning valuable new skills. Turn Sleepy You into Sleepy You. Let's open new career possibilities with our simple, proven methods of learning while you sleep. In no time at all, you will learn accounting, gun repair, phone cleaning, insurance sales, warp drive mechanics, computer game production, refrigeration repair, space pirating, landscaping, goat milking, shoe repair, and countless other fascinating high-opportunity careers. Send for your free brochure today. Cryogenic Corresponding School, 777 Brass Monkey Way, Pluto. Only 100 buckazoids! Order yours today! Perform brain surgery at home! Don't waste time with sleep learning correspondence courses or costly time-consuming universities. Perform medical miracles and scientific marvels in your own home instantly with the teacher. Reconnect cerebral cortex in minutes. Control entire planets. Attack starships. Fill out tax forms. You know, the long ones with all the additional forms and references to obscure tax codes that no one understands. A leading physician says, so easy a child could do it. Kara Inc. Sigma Draconis. Vulcanize your muscles. Tired of being humiliated with cries of, hey geek, and what's up, bird legs? Well, fight back, you wimp. Learn the ancient arts of those Shaolin on the spaceways. Shaolin of the spaceways. The Vulcans. Be super strong while maintaining a geeky exterior. Ideal for programmers, artists, and comic book collectors. Right. T-Pow Enterprises, Ponfar Avenue, Vulcan. Oh, we get classifieds in this one. Credit problems, bad credit, no credit, low income, no income, too young, too old, home repossessed, spaceship repossessed, previously turned down. Wow, that sucks. Bet you don't have one of these, Earthling. Official Space Cadet Handbook. Order now and receive Prime Directive loopholes. Absolutely free. Write to Stimson Galactic AIDS. Planet Ren of the Dog Star. Do you suffer from gullibility? Are you just plain stupid, impossibly naive? Do you believe anything you read? Astrology, the tarot, numerology, politicians, and televangelists? Great! Send us 3,000 buckazoids along with your credit card numbers. Send to Sharp Enterprises. There you go. That was the whole thing. Lose weight instantly. Move to a planet with lighter gravity.
Alright then.
Save money on your food bills. Turn unwanted house guests into delicious vegetarian dishes in the comfort of your own kitchen with Soylent Greenery. Easy and simple. Call 1-900
1-900
880 Stun.
Stun.
I don't know. Oh, 8 Heston.
Oh.
I think Charlton Heston was in that movie. They probably ate him. Anyway. Amusing designs. Bonsai your dead pet. Interesting conversion piece that you'll be proud to own. Write for free catalog of designs. David Rex Wolf. K9 Shag. Bark Hickory Street. Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, Earth. Trouble making friends? Who needs them? You've got computer games from Sierra. Go play with yourself. Live Psychic. Love, career, money, future. 1-900-555-SCAM. Dead Psychic. Madam Muffin will channel the dead advisor of your choice. 1-900-555-DEAD. World's Greatest Psychic. #1 authority on past lives, compatibility, the future tarot, relationships, career, etc. Except no imitations. Just think it over. I'll call you. Psychics aplenty, a staff of qualified psychics waiting to answer your questions, all certified by the N. Reagan Institute of Psychics. 1-900-555-SUCKER. Exotic, lonely earthling men are just dying to meet Xenonian women. Right now for details. Don't pay intergalactic estate tax. Send 1,000 buckazoids for our pamphlet, Avoiding Intergalactic Estate Taxes. Right now. P.O. Box ABC, Gers Heights, Corona. Wacky pet pics. Doggone cute. They're a little hard to house trained, but other than that, they're great. They make great pets. They're so cute and cuddly. Who wouldn't want to have one of their own? Who indeed, Kurt? Until they start printing newspapers on titanium, you're going to have a fun time to get this cute little acid squirter house trained. Ever wonder what a tribble looked like under that fur? Ragnar Katz of Gaseous Anomaly 201 sent us this photo of her once fuzzy pet after a bad case of tribble mange. Poor tribbles.
Pet face hugger.
Yep. Yep. Kengularian resident Kurt Metadoid's pet face hugger shows off all his latest tricks for the camera. He's got his tail going through his ear.
Through his ear.
Yeah.
Alright then.
Elvis marries Oprah on TSN. I found my hunka burning love in Larryland. I toasted his flabby butt on Red Baron. We swear it's true. Well, almost. The truth is, you can be anybody on the Sierra Network. So this was one of the very first, it wasn't quite the internet yet, but Sierra had a network you could dial into, and it was like the first ever MMO.
Interesting.
Right? So, the Sierra Network. Create your own look and personality, then go out and meet other gamers on the nation's premier online multiplayer game service. Challenge your new online buddies to multiplayer Red Baron, which was a game they did, right? It was like an actual World War I plane simulator, right? Form a party to search the dungeons of FRP, Shadow of Cerberus, or slip into an uncensored chat room with the adults-only strip in Larryland, or express your artistic side in graffiti. Round up for a foursome of bridge, or check your email box for love letters. With over 20 great games, most in VGA with full sound card support, and thousands of players all over the country. Yeah. TSN is the place to get together for fun, and yes, Elvis has been sighted on TSN, and more than one marriage has resulted from the meetings on the Sierra Network. Really? So yeah, they did have these are actual games you could play on the Sierra Network. So they basically advertised it, and it was like a dial-up BBS kind of thing.
That's really cool.
And they had enough servers that they had a lot of people who would log in, and Larryland, I think, was a game show kind of scenario, and I couldn't afford the long distance rates or the monthly fees, so I never actually got to try that. But that was the beginnings of the internet.
Yeah.
And what cool. and people playing with strangers online, right? Like the first ever MMO kind of scenario where you could play with people from all over the country, not just in your neighborhood kind of thing, right? So yeah, Sierra blazed a trail there that just simply wasn't happening anywhere else. And actually, if you've ever watched the show *Halt and Catch Fire*, I highly recommend it. First of all, it's a well-written show. It's AMC's, same company that did Breaking Bad and stuff, right?
Oh,
and
yeah, that's cool.
It's not the same creators, but it's in that same vein, I think, because the characters are really strong and they kind of draw you in. But it's based on the setting is these people working in the computer industry. And I think season 1 is they're trying to invent the first laptop. Laptops weren't really a thing yet, and they're we can do better. And it's not Apple, it's not based on any major, because at the time, it was an open season, right? Everybody was just trying to do it, and so they're just one of the people, one of the small companies trying to do this thing. And one of the seasons talks about how they're kind of that pre-internet phase where you're just trying to bring as many people to your branded thing as possible. And so the only reason why I bring it up is it kind of brings up this whole Sierra Network theory that, Sierra Network obviously didn't win out, right? Like Yahoo and other
Right.
services like AOL, right? By spamming everybody's mailbox. But, we used AOL to try to, like, fucking get to the Sierra Network because it was still around when the internet was just becoming a thing. But it just couldn't keep up. And, Sierra crashed and got sold and all that stuff. But
Right.
otherwise, we might still have, like, a Sierra
That would've
fucking
been cool. In an
MMO
alternate
kind of
universe.
thing, right? Yeah, like we could go to fucking Space Quest land and King's Quest land.
That'd
And,
be fucking cool.
so that was a thing. And that is actually the end. Wow, this was a long episode.
This is like a whole.
This is the
a-
longest episode 0
the
we've ever
fuck?
done. Yeah, there was a lot to this one. So, alright, tune in next week. Or whenever.
Yeah.
Depending on how long this fucking quarantine thing goes, because
Yeah.
we're recording this while it's still happening. Hopefully it's over by the time this airs. But anyway, Space Quest 5 starts soon.
Yay.
Don't terrorize aliens at home, kids. Bye!
Bye.